What you're looking at tells you where I'm at today. I'm in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and I headed to the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, which is to the right there in the picture with the water tower by it. And it is in an old freight depot, and it's still got a train there by it, and still even has the depot sign up on the building. But as you can see from the water tower even, it is now the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame building. As we take a closer look to the outside of the building, I notice there's an Ogie from Muskogee sign out there, and I'm going to look closer to that in just a minute. It is still considered a museum as well as the Hall of Fame, and it looks like the sign may need a little repainting. But now we're going to take that closer look at that sign, Ogie from Muskogee, which is a very famous Merle Haggard song. And I will make a comment at this time. The museum is of June 2024, is free admissions, but they do accept donations. And that may change in October when they do a grand remodeling, and they're also going to be dedicating a statue of Merle Haggard out here near this sign, they say, as well as I think Merle Haggard's sons that are country music singers are going to be performing that day. So let's go on inside. The museum isn't just for country music inductees and all, but that's where I'm going to be putting my focus on this video. And there's a Ronnie Dunn jacket and boots. And there's also Chick Raines guitar and hat. And Chick Raines would write songs for like Reba McEntire, Mickey Gilley, and Eddie Arnold, just to name a few. And he was born and raised in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I love up by the pair of jeans that Ronnie Dunn gave. It has the sign, "I'm from Oklahoma." I mean, you can't have good hair in Oklahoma. That's why everybody wears hats. The wind just messes it up. Well, we'll swing around and look at another case that catches my eye because it has a bright pink outfit in it, and it looks like that has country music style written all over it. And that is of Becky Hobbs. She was a country singer and songwriter, and she wrote songs for people such as George Jones and Loretta Lynn. Next, Becky's outfit is an outfit and fiddle of Byron Berline, a country bluegrass fiddle player. And of course, we're going to now see a showcase dedicated to Merle Haggard. It has a hat there that he wore, as well as a picture. And it looks like it's where he's actually signing the guitar that's in there. And I don't think they gave him a very good marker that day, because when you look at it, the writing on it is not as dark as you'd like for it to be. But you can still make out it says "To the Hall of Fame, Merle Haggard." It's a dress that Wanda Jackson, which was a singer-songwriter, wore. And here's a jacket that Mae Boren Axton wore. And Mae is probably best remembered as being a co-writer of Elvis Presley's Heartbreak Hotel, but she also would write songs for like Mel Tillis, Willie Nelson, Tanya Tucker, and Blake Shelton, just to name a few. And then back to Wanda Jackson, there's some earrings and watches of hers. And Wanda's probably most famous country song was "You Can't Have My Love." Also, Mae Axton was the mother of Hoyt Axton. And of course, everybody will look and recognize this right off the bat. That's Toby Keith and a couple of people there. Sorry if I'm going a little fast for you, but there's so much to see, and I just mainly am just hitting the highlights of some country music stars in the museum, and I don't want the video to be too long. But anyway, here is a guitar that is Toby Keith's one, and there's a signature on it. Let me see if I can turn a little bit to get a better view of the signature. Of course, Toby Keith is passed away now and everything, but not all of the stars in this museum is passed away. There's one of Toby's hats that he wore also. And that appears to be a painting of a young Toby Keith, and up above it is a picture of Merle Haggard playing the guitar, and there's a jacket in the corner there, and I didn't see a sign or anything, but not sure if that was one of Merle's jackets or whatever, but could be, because it's, you know, kept back to the side there all by itself. But anyway, next you'll be seeing a guitar is of Brian White. He's a country music singer and songwriter, and with the guitar being black, I don't know if there's a actual signature on it or not. There's a giant photo of Verlin Thompson. He was a singer, songwriter, a guitarist, and he would play the guitar for people such as Randy Travis, Barbara Mandrell, and Kenny Rogers. And the seat there is signed by several that I couldn't make out or didn't know, but I do know Hank Thompson. Hank was a singer, songwriter, musician, and he played the guitar. He had a song called The Wild Side of Life. And for those who remember that Kitty Wells had I Didn't Know God Made Honky Tonk Angels, before she made that song, Hank Thompson had in his song there, The Wild Side of Life, those lines in its chorus that I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. Just a little thing for thought there. And here's a guitar signed by lots of people. Most of them I can't make out, but being a country music fan, it always draws me to those names. And there's one of Marty Stewart on the top of the guitar there. If you recognize any of the names, especially if they're country music stars, please let me know. Anyway, there's Woody Guthrie, which was a folk type singer, picture above the guitar. But anyway, there's also a Grammy that belonged to B.J. Thomas in the Hall of Fame, and it's for the song Home Where I Belong. And that's a nice song too, but of course my favorite song of B.J. Thomas's is Raindrops Keep Falling on Your Head. And B.J. Thomas would have a gold record from that and the many awards also, and the gold record for it is up above that picture you're seeing. And B.J. was not only famous for country music, but he also did Christian and pop music as well. But I thought he was a very awesome singer. There is also several other gold records up above the one of B.J. Thomas's, but being the short person I am, I'll try to zoom in, but I'm unable to make out who those gold records belong to. But I do spot a guitar just on a side wall next to it with a picture below it that is very recognizable in the country music world, and that is of Vince Gill. So let's take a closer look at that. Looks like the guitar actually was one of Vince Gill's guitars, and it has his signature on it. And I'll try to turn sideways a little bit, but it's still sometimes hard to read because some of their writing is not the best, but I can't say anything, neither is mine. But I did like that it had a board there with a lot of information on Vince Gill included in the Hall of Fame. So let's take a walk down the little hallway that goes into the category where all the inductees' pictures are. And as you can tell, looks like they are in the process of still getting ready for the grand remodel, because all the posters and stuff from all the years past inductees and everything is sitting around on the floor and all. And you're probably going to recognize a lot of these as I swirl through it, and I will go back and take a closer look at some of them a little slower for you to get a good look at. But can't take time to do each and every one. It's like I said, it would just, this video would be so very, very long. So let's start with taking a little bit closer look at a few of the inductees. There's Verlin Thompson that I just talked about a couple of minutes ago. And they've got a collection of different styles of music, CDs and old records and things. I like the picture up here where it's got May and Hoyt Axton together on it, and looks like that was the advertisement for the 2007 inductee ceremony. You get a little glimpse there of Carrie Underwood, and she has two pictures in here, and I think Blake Shelton does too, because they got it as Rising Stars for 1 year, but they wasn't actually official inducted as an inductee at that time, just a Rising Star Award thing. But later on they got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and so they have two pictures, and I don't know if I'll remember to take both of those or not, but anyway, this is the year of Blake Shelton's Rising Star picture, it says there. And that's Carrie Underwood's Rising Star picture also. And like I said, it's there's a Brooks and Dunn's was at the 2003 one, and just very interested. And I think once they do the remodel and all, it may be worth me coming back for a visit to see how much better it is. And they may have stuff that they've still got in storage that they haven't got out. So I'll do some close-ups now. There's Hoyt Axton. And you'll probably notice some other stars next to it, but like I said, I'm mainly just keying in today on country music stars. There's his mother down there. There's Ronnie Dunn. That's a good picture of him on it when he got inducted. And looks like it was 2003 on his induction ceremony. And just above Ronnie Dunn is Gene Autry. If you love country western type music, you gotta love Gene Autry. There's one of Merle Haggard. And it looks like Merle was inducted in 1997, and that was, he was one of the very first inductees. That was the first year they started inducting them into this Hall of Fame, I might add. There's a picture that's got Gene Autry, of course, included in it. And they don't always just do one type music. Sometimes they have others, like there is a couple. There's Vince Gill, of course, country music, and Byron Berline. He did fiddle playing for country music as well. But I think the other one, Barney Kessel, was a jazz player. And we've already talked a little bit about Chick Raines. And this is the official induction picture that Carrie Underwood has in here. And Carrie was inducted in 2009. And right above Carrie is a well-known country music person. That's Merle Kilgore. And we've already talked a little bit about Vince Gill, but there's his induction picture. And I mentioned Merle Kilgore. I'll give you a little close-up of the writing that is under Merle's picture. And right beside him is Roger Miller. And I hate that they have now closed the Roger Miller Museum that was in Eric, Oklahoma, because he had a wonderful museum there. And just below Roger Miller is the induction picture of Jean Shepherd. And we're going to look up above, and there is the picture of Wanda Jackson. She's the one that we saw her watch and earrings and a dress when we first came into the museum. And there's one of Merle Haggard, and I'm not sure who the lady there was. Might have been Patty Page or somebody else. And of course here is the great Toby Keith's picture. And Toby was inducted in 2005 to the museum there. And just above Toby Keith is one of my favorite guitar banjo players, Roy Clark's induction picture. And of course Roy was very famous for being on Hee Haw with Buck Owens. And we've already discussed B.J. Thomas and his Grammy and all in here. Give you a little glimpse of what's wrote below it. It's a picture. And here's a picture that is dedicated to Vince Gill, and I really like the way they've got it like a collage of things that represent Vince Gill. Here's a couple of pictures of Blake Shelton and Carrie Underwood, and this was probably at what they were considered their rising star status, because they look very, very young here. But they was sitting on the table as I was getting ready to go through the little hallway. We'll take a little bit closer look of the two pictures there of Blake Shelton and Carrie Underwood, and then we're going to head on back out into the section. As you come in the Hall of Fame, to the left, if you go, you'll see tables and stuff set up, and they have on Thursday nights live musicians come and play, mostly fellow Oklahomans, but it could be just, I guess, anybody that's in town. And it's from like 7 to 9 p.m. and it's a $5 cover charge. The young man that greeted us at the door and talked to us about the Hall of Fame and museum said that they usually have around 150 to 200 people show up every Thursday night. And before closing out, I want to tell you a little bit about this guitar here. It was from the G-Fest in 2016. There was about 85 musicians, mostly Oklahomans, that would play at that G-Fest, they call it. And they had planned on Merle Haggard being there to perform, but Merle passed away a couple of months before it took place. And I'm showing you Marty Stewart and Casey Musgraves was the co-host, and Casey ended up filling in for where Merle Haggard was supposed to be, the young man said. Speaking of Merle Haggard, we'll look at one more area of this, and then we'll look at his picture one more time, and we'll close it out as this video is getting kind of long. But I would like to say thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I truly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to, or even give me a thumbs up would be great. So have a good day.